Hi, hello, my name is Chris Calzanetti. I'm with American Implement. Going to be talking to you a little bit today about what we do here at John Deere and a little bit of our community and agriculture. With my background, I'm actually from Garden City, grew up here. I've been with American Implement for 10 years. I can tell you when I was growing up, one thing I never thought I'd be doing is working at a John Deere dealership. As I've been here, I've discovered that it's not just nuts and bolts and guys, working in the back with grease on their hands. John Deere is a very large company that does a lot of different things. Here at American Implement, we are a John Deere dealership, so our job here is to support the farmers. Also, we sell the equipment. John Deere is one of the most advanced technology companies out there. Most people don't look at John Deere as a technology company, but really with the equipment that we have today, it is some of the most advanced pieces of equipment out there. As you can see, I've got two items right here. One of these is a Starfire 6000 receiver, and what we can do with this is we can actually put this on a sprayer, combine, tractor, and it can communicate with satellites in outer space, which sounds really futuristic, but we've been doing this for a long time. Right here is a touchscreen display, just like you guys have with iPads. It's touch, and basically what you can do with this is put it in a cab of a tractor or sprayer or whatever, and it can actually automate and control that piece of equipment. Why that is important is in today's society, with how population growth is going, the demand for food, farmers have one of the largest demands ever. We've got to grow more food with less water on less ground. Sounds like a very big task. Our farmers here are some of the most advanced guys out there. We have a lot of different crops in our area. We do a little bit of everything. Most people don't think of Garden City, Kansas to have a lot of dairies in the area, but actually the fact is we have some of the largest dairies in the state and part of the country as well. There's a lot of milk that's produced just here in this area, and in order for that to make the levels that we have to use, it takes a lot of food. There's a lot of alfalfa that's grown, or hay. There's a lot of corn that's used for that, or silage. So for the demand of that, these farmers have to grow a ton of food every year. They have to do it every year, because if they miss a year, or if we don't have good crops, we could actually run out pretty quickly, which is kind of weird to think, because when you go to the grocery store, you always see food, you always see milk, you always get your cereal, you get your snacks, you get your hamburger and things like that. But that has to be replaced every day, every year, and the only way it gets replaced is by our farmers. So here at American Implement, what we do is we make sure that the farmers are able to get that job done. They use big tractors and big combines, and the reason they're getting larger is because they have less time to do it. They have to cover more ground with less time. So at our position here, we make sure that timeline is matched. One of the things that is thought of with our equipment is just the technology of how does it communicate. Our tractors now can actually text message our service manager, which is kind of weird to think that farmer could be driving his tractor down and he can get a call from the service manager saying, hey, your tractor texted me. But that actually does happen. These tractors have several computers on them. They're constantly communicating. They're able to diagnose themselves. So if they're going down and say, hey, something's about to break on me, we better get the shop and get a technician out here, that can actually be done on its own, automated. So there's a lot of neat stuff that goes on with that. Here in a little bit, we'll take you out, and we've got John Deere, who's one of our top guys, walk you around the tractor and show you all the bells and whistles on them.
Good afternoon, kids. How are you? I hope you're having a great day. My name is John Deere, and I've been with American Implement going on 5 years. I love working at American Implement. It's a good family to be a part of. And what my job is I am an inventory controller. So what does an inventory controller do? Well, you see this tractor behind me? And many other pieces out on the lot, like a sprayer or a combine. It is my job to make sure that they are accounted for, coming into our lot and going out of our lot. And then there's a lot of other little details as well. One thing I really enjoy is driving them on and off the truck. So my day is never dull, never boring, always something different. All right, well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and start talking about this big green mean machine behind me. And I'm gonna just go off with some questions that I've seen from the friends on the farm, kids around your age, from the past. So one of the first questions that I got was, how much does this tractor cost? Well, if you are thinking around $300,000, then you are very close, because it's about $300,000 to $330,000. They can even get even higher up in price than that. So is that a lot of money? Well, if you think about it, you can buy 7 to 10 half-ton pickup trucks for that amount of money. And even look at it as far as houses are concerned. I mean, we could even get up to 3 houses for that amount of money. Sometimes it's 2 or 1, but still, that is a lot of money that a farmer has to constantly think about as far as his whole entity. And this is just one tractor. Usually farmers have a lot of things going on their farm. So let's go ahead and look at what the numbers mean on this tractor. Deere did a great thing by identifying their equipment. So let's look at the numbers on the front of the hood here. We'll just cover this real quick. So if you look at the 8, that 8 series tractor, and that means that this is our workhorse, okay? This is our row crop, and it does so many different things farming. So we also have a 7 series, a 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's just like if you were born and then you start having birthdays, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, as you get older, you get bigger and you get stronger. The same thing with the tractor. As the numbers go up, they get bigger and they get a lot more powerful. Okay, well, let's look at that power. Right now, the next 3 numbers on this hood says 370. That's 370 horses. Can you imagine looking out in a field and seeing 370 horses? That's a lot. So how much power is that? Well, let's discuss that real quick. So let's say that you have a shovel here. You're going to help your dad or your mom, plant something in the garden. What you're going to do is you're going to take the shovel out. You're going to, possibly use 1 foot, possibly use both feet, whatever it takes. That ground can be pretty hard. And then you're going to get some dirt out. And when you're deep enough, you're going to put that seed and grow whatever you're growing in the garden. Okay, well, farmers have got to do the same thing, but on a much larger scale. Remember, here in Kansas, we feed the world. Okay, so that's a lot of food. So imagine that this tractor behind it has a semi turned sideways. Okay, so it's going to pull a semi turned sideways, and then it's going to have a shovel ever so often, like 24 shovels. And then it's going to go into the ground either 6 to 12 inches. Okay, so it's already hard to dig sometimes. Can you imagine putting this in the ground 6 to 12 inches and pulling it? That would be very, very difficult. But this tractor has so much power that it can do that. On top of that, let's look at something else to show you the amazing power of our machines. If you look up front here, these are called suitcase weights. Now I know what you're thinking. John, that looks nothing like a suitcase. You're right, and it does have like a suitcase handle. And if you have someone at home that's really good at packing suitcases, maybe they can get a lot in there, and it can seem kind of heavy. But this right here, one of these weighs 100 pounds. You'd be pretty tired going to and from the airport if you had to carry one of these. And there are 22 of these on here. So that's 2,200 pounds. That's quite a bit, but we're not done. Okay, if you follow me back to the back of the tractor here, we have this 450-pound weight, and then just on the inside, there's a 160-pound weight. It's a little guy, okay? And then in between the tires, we have 2 more 450s, which is 900. Then on the inside, we have a 1,400-pound weight. Okay, so this is on both sides of the tractor. Now we are looking at a total of 8,000 pounds already on a 33,000-pound tractor, while it's pulling a semi with shovels 6 to 12 inches in the ground. Is that power or what? I know, right? Mind-blowing. All right, we'll go back up here to the hood. You've got your R series. What does the R series mean? That just means it's the newer tractor. Okay, if it just said like 8400, then you know that it's an older tractor. Okay, but you see an R behind it, and then you've got the newer style. Okay, I also had questions about the fuel tank. So how much fuel does it hold? Well, it holds anywhere from 165 to 170 gallons of fuel. Maybe you're going with your mom or your dad to the gas station and you put in maybe $20, maybe up to 180, depending on if you got a 12-gallon tank or a 50-gallon tank. Well, right now, diesel over the past year has been about $3.50. So when you calculate that times 170-gallon tank, you're looking at about $600. Is that a lot of money? Now on top of that, a farmer may use this tractor so much that he has to fill up every 3 to 5 days. That's a lot of money. Can you see how you could spend $600 every 3 to 5 days? You're like, oh yeah, I got a lot of toys in my mind I could buy. That's a lot of money. Okay, we got to start wrapping things up here. I do want to let you know that even though the tractors are very expensive and farmers need them, that we do make sure that they are comfortable. The cab is very spacious. As you can see, there's one of the displays that Chris was talking about as far as technology is concerned, which is really important. And this one doesn't have it, but some of the cabs have refrigerators. So if a farmer's hungry, you can just open it up and pull out a soda or get a sandwich and keep rolling, which is very important. One thing that I want to let you guys know is when I see this tractor, I see team, okay? And what do I mean by that? Well, the farmers go out and they work hard all year round so they can bring us food and they can bring us clothes and they can help out in the community. So if you see them going down the road or you're maybe driving out by one of their fields and you see them in a tractor or a combine, smile at them, wave at them, give them a thumbs up, clap for them, let them know that you really appreciate them. And I want you to know that you too are a part of this team. So thank you very much for joining us at AI. We've loved talking to you, and hopefully you guys have a wonderful day.